Hello, and welcome to the very first review on the Nautical Lariat channel. And today, we're going to be reviewing the Super Bowl. And as you can tell, I am super excited because I'm showing my team spirit. The Buccaneers won, baby. Woohoo! Hello? Hey, Brandon. What? The Chiefs and the Eagles? Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Bye. Well, go Chiefs? Hello? No three-peat? Well, I don't really want to talk about the Super Bowl, so today we're going to talk about the 2025 Royal Rumble. Okay, so the 2025 Royal Rumble is officially over, and by officially over, I mean that it happened about 2 weeks ago. Anyways, we're going to start with the Women's Rumble. I'm going to break this down into the good, the okay, and the bad. The ugly. Starting off with the good, I loved the way that they booked Io Sky, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez. 1, 2, and 3. The way that they told that story in the Rumble was fantastic. Io almost broke the record, and then Liv ended up breaking the record, but then right at the finale, Roxanne Perez broke the record. It was awesome. I loved it. I dig it. On top of that, Chelsea Green was the MVP heel of the entire Rumble, which is weird to say because someone else should have been the MVP heel of the Rumble. We'll get to that later. I love the storytelling that Chelsea Green did. She was in so many funny spots. She did so much in the Rumble. She was eliminated by Piper Niven, which means we're probably going to do that feud going into WrestleMania for the US title, and I am all for it. On top of that, I really enjoyed all of the NXT call-ups. It really felt like it was Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT in this Rumble, which I love it when they do all three brands in a Rumble. I think it just meshes so much better. As well as I was super excited to see Jordynne Grace have a great first showing as an official WWE superstar. She did a phenomenal job. I was also super excited to see Alexa Bliss. I didn't think Bliss was going to be in the Rumble, but there she is. I'm happy that she is doing the whole Lily character. I think there's so much more depth that she can do with that character, and it was really nice to see her back. And finally, it was great to see Nikki Bella as the number 30 entrant. I definitely thought it was going to be Jade Cargill or Becky Lynch, but seeing Nikki Bella come back was awesome. But yeah, I think it's okay that Io didn't necessarily win. I knew it was a long shot on picking her as my top pick, but she had a great showing. Finally, it's okay that Charlotte won the Rumble. With that being said, here are the things I don't like about the Rumble match. You can't have Charlotte Flair, the golden child of WWE, the golden child of the entire women's roster, come out as number 27, be the hand-picked person to win the Rumble, not only by fans, but also by WWE, come out with pyro, not necessarily do anything spectacular in the match, and then to top it all off, win the Rumble match as a babyface. Everything about her screams heel. She's the hand-picked person to win the Rumble. She's a hand-picked person to run the company. This also happened to Randy Orton, Triple H, Ric Flair, Seth Rollins. These characters were hand-picked to be the top superstar of WWE. What else did they have in common? They were all phenomenal heels. You can't give someone this personality, this character, and expect them to operate as a functional babyface. It does not work. And I'm not the only one that thought this. I'm not going to say the internet necessarily thinks this because the internet is the internet, but watch the Monday Night Raw promo. You boo me because you missed me. You boo me because I was injured. You booed me because I worked super hard. We boo you because you're a great heel. That's why we boo you. We boo you because we like you as a heel. So yeah, I really don't have any strong issues with the finish. My issue is she wasn't a heel. Okay, so the Women's Rumble, my thoughts. I actually think it was the stronger of the two Rumbles of the night. But right now, let's get into the WWE Tag Team match between #DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns in a 2 out of 3 falls match. The first fall kind of came out of nowhere, which I kind of liked, but it was okay. But the second and third falls were good. Those were awesome falls. I love the Motor City Machine Guns hitting the skull and bones. I definitely liked the heel finish of DIY, capitalizing on the distraction by the Street Profits and then taking out them with the super kick and the knee. But the bad, I would say, with this match is the Street Profits. What's going on with that angle? From a storyline and psychological perspective, them attacking both teams didn't make any sense. So yeah, I just thought the finish was a little weird with the Street Profits. I don't know where they're going to go with this. There's probably going to be a multi-man tag team match at Mania. But yeah, at the end of the day, meh. It was a confusing finish. It didn't make sense for them to attack DIY after attacking Motor City Machine Guns. Okay, on to the ladder match. There is a lot of good with this match. Dare I say, great with this match. I love Cody Rhodes as a pro wrestler. You can tell he truly understands the art, the psychology, the methodology, everything going into professional wrestling. You can tell he gets it. Cody Rhodes isn't only a throwback and a renaissance act, but he's also just one of the best professional wrestlers ever as of right now. Into the actual ladder match, it was brutal, it was high energy, high emotion, great storytelling. It was probably the best match on the entire card. The only okay or bad thing I can possibly say about the match is that it definitely swerved my expectations. But I was definitely expecting a Jeff Hardy versus Edge type match or a Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho type match, and I 100% got a Triple H versus The Rock at SummerSlam type match. Which, that's fine. It's just not what I expected those two would do in a ladder match. It was a lot more brutal. It was a lot more stationary. They were using the ladder as more of a blunt object and a weapon to slam each other on instead of doing high risk, high reward type moves with the ladder. Which, by the way, that Alabama slam. Oh, it was just an Alabama slam on a ladder. Did you see the way Kevin Owens folded like an accordion? I don't know how he's walking. That was a phenomenal finish. But all in all, that's like a 9 out of 10 match right there. That is easily a top contender for one of the best matches of 2025. It is on par with CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell. I love the trilogy of Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. And I love the storyline of Kevin Owens continuing to lose at the Royal Rumble for world titles. Eventually, one of these days, Kevin Owens will win a world title at the Royal Rumble, and all things will be okay in the world. On to the Men's Rumble. First off, there were so many great stories going on in this match. Penta and Rey starting off the match. Penta is easily one of the best luchadors ever. On top of that, you had Gable coming out, furthering that story of Chad Gable versus luchadors, which is super fun to see. On top of that, you had storylines like Roman, Seth, Drew, Damian, Punk, Cena, Logan Paul coming out at number 30. That was a swerve. There were so many great interweaving storylines going into this Rumble match that were actually executed greatly in this match that I had a lot of fun with it. Another thing I want to say that was super good was it was awesome to see Joe Hendry in the Rumble at number 15. He had one hell of a 2024 in TNA and on the independents. I'm super happy to see him operating within WWE. Also, I want to say Seth Rollins having that heel turn after they all got eliminated by Logan Paul and Punk. Seth just went AWOL. Like, that first curb stomp to Roman? Yep, he dead. Roman dead. And then, yeah, furthering that feud with Punk, I could definitely see a world where you're going to have Punk versus Roman versus Seth in a triple threat match. That match alone, that's the main event on either night 1 or night 2. And by main event, I mean the true main event. I also want to shout out Braun Breaker. You know, the dude had a great Rumble. And Jacob Fatu. Oh, God. Those guys had great Rumbles. Oh, great Rumble for both those guys. I think going into 2025, both of them are just going to hold the IC and the US titles and just go on a kill streak. I have a little bit of a problem with the entrances. I already talked about this earlier, but the entrances when you had Roman, Cena, Seth, Punk, Dominic Mysterio, when you had all those guys coming out one after another, I would have rather just saw them come in and start fighting instead of just getting in the ring, standing off, waiting for the next guy. It was alright, you know. I do have a little bit of an issue with John Cena's performance in the match. He did kind of right his wrongs with the promo he cut on the post show, but it just sort of seemed like the person and actor of John Cena was playing the role of WWE John Cena in this match. I get it. It's his retirement tour. He is welcome to do anything and everything that he feels comfortable doing. But if you watch how John was acting in this match versus how John would have acted in, say, the 2017 or maybe 2018 Rumble, the last Rumble he was in, they're two completely different people. Like, if you have John Cena wanting to main event WrestleMania, then a little bit of urgency and a little bit of fire would have been nice to see out of him. I do think we're going to get that in the Elimination Chamber. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, and if he ends up showing that fire and showing that ruthless aggression, if he ends up showing all that in the Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, then you know what? Egg on my face. I was wrong, and I was wrong to criticize him. But to me, it just seemed there was nothing wrong with his wrestling. There was nothing wrong with his selling or the storytelling he was doing. It seemed like he was John Cena playing the character of John Cena instead of just being John Cena, if that makes sense. Also, it's okay that Jey Uso won. I'm super excited that Jey won. I'm super happy for him. But I'm not necessarily super excited at the fact that we just did Gunther versus Jey at Saturday Night's main event. Like, if we would have done that match, say, a couple months ago, and then revisited the feud, that would be different. But it's very fresh. Okay, let's get into the bad of the match. First off, Drew's elimination. I watched the replay. Yes, it was unfortunate. I don't necessarily think it was LA Knight's fault. I think it was just the timing of coordinating everything, because you can't have LA Knight not do something with Logan, because that is a pre-existing feud, and Logan was in the middle of the ring. So you can't necessarily have Logan just stand there in the middle of the ring while they do the Damian Priest, Jey Uso, and Drew McIntyre spot. So LA Knight had to take out Logan, and I think those two spots just happened so close together that the cameras didn't know how to capture it. I'll also say that the lack of NXT superstars was a little unfortunate for this Rumble. Not necessarily the lack of TNA stars, because I understand that, but NXT, throw those guys in. But yeah, like, the not having NXT superstars in your Rumble is just strange to me, because there were so many call-ups in the Women's Rumble, and there were none in the Men's Rumble. There were definitely a lot of guys that were ready for this Rumble that should have been in the Rumble. Maybe I'm just a cranky and grumpy old man, but I don't need I Show Speed in the Rumble. I get it. He took a great spear and a great slam by both Braun Breaker and Otis, but at the end of the day, it really didn't do a whole lot for the Rumble. And finally, man, the Final 3 wasn't good. Final 3 was really not good. I've talked about this with Bruno. I do think it should have been Jey versus Roman, Seth, Punk, or even like Cena. I don't necessarily think Logan needed to be in the Final 3. I think you very well could have had it be Logan eliminates Cena. And then if you have Logan and Jey, like, everyone would have been rallying for Jey, and it wouldn't have been as anticlimactic. I think it was just a little anticlimactic because no one expected Jey to actually eliminate Cena, and they kind of booked them into that position. But yeah, I just think it was a little anticlimactic. I think there was more that you could have done with those 3, or you could have just put a different 3 in and still had Jey win. So yeah, those are just my thoughts. As a whole, what I'm going to give this, I'd say for the very first PLE of 2025, I really enjoyed the 2025 Royal Rumble. I've seen it twice now. I'll give it a B-. I think it was a pretty fun Royal Rumble. Was it better than last year's? I don't necessarily think it was better than last year's, but I also think we have a tendency of overhyping these shows, especially the Rumble. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me. If you don't agree with me, let me know your thoughts, your ideas, your opinions. What did you think about the Rumble? Did you want Jey to win? Did you expect Jey to win? Did you expect Charlotte to win? Did you expect DIY or Cody Rhodes to win? Let me know what you were thinking. Let me know how you think Elimination Chamber is going to go. Let me know how you think Mania's going to go. Like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and until next time, have a great day. Savvy! I can't believe the Buccaneers didn't make it to the Super Bowl. Bullshit! Fuck!
Whoa, Black Betty, bam, bam, whoa, Bam, Black Betty had a child. Bam, the damn thing gone wild. Bam, she's had 'em worry my mind. Bam, the damn thing.